I nearly went straight into my end screen then. That was a bad click. Anyway, hello and welcome. It's me, Rainy Roseman. I'm the Vin Library. Hello, everyone. Hello, Maxwell. Hello, Nimby. Hello, Tinker. Hello, Gnome-Sized Phantom. Hello, Xnum. Hello, Dreaming Author. Welcome. Hello, any lurkers. Hello, any borders. It is Walpipi time. Well, here we are at Walpipi time. You know what that means? So I recently got to, oh, bing, 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 bing. Normal Size Phantom has been a member for 30 months! Holy shit, that's so long. Your water broke. Oh no, the baby's coming. Should hope so after 30 months. That's a long time. How out of hand this joke has gotten at this point. Right, they're gonna add a jukebox function. It's like 10 out of 10. I'd love a jukebox. Oh my god, but they're gonna make us earn the songs for it, aren't they? And that's okay, I guess. That's fair. They deserve to give us more to work towards. That's okay. But 100%, that would be wonderful because there's some bangers, isn't there? Now, as I was saying, I got to the end of my season pass. I got to here, so therefore I bought the season pass. Therefore I have money to Walpipi. Some bangers and mash from it. So yeah, full season pass. I did it. Probably a lot slower than most people, but you know I did it eventually, and that's okay. Get the Millie songs and Canto as to have completed Canto. After completing the Canto, oh, that's very nice, because I love the Spice Bush theme. I'd like that. That would be fun. That's a good theme. But first, roly poly. Let's see. Actually, no. Before we roll, important things we need to do. First, we need to get our magical girl in the name of love and hate. This is very important. This is going to be the idea that's going to see us through Canto 7. So we got to get the magical girl. So 5k isn't much lunacy for polling purposes. It's enough to have a bit of fun. Cute girls. Girls just being magical. Magical is always important. I have enough for a Yi Sang thing too, but I don't know whether to save that and get something else, because I want Pew Pew Yi Sang at some point. I would also like Pew Pew Ryoshu. I don't need that Pew Pew because just as Miguel is the Fantas intended, yes. But also there's a Pew Pew Altis too. Hello Susan, we have not done Gamba yet. I just got Magical Girl done, which I should level up. Level up, level up, level up. Have all my tickets, sweet girl. Or could I just go? No. Dit. I hope I get wonderful streamer luck too. Magic Pew Pew Altis. Yeah. We are about to Gamba soon. Technically the best Yi Sang ID for you is the Index Nurse Father. But other than that, Solemn Lament is quite a solid choice. I want the guns, bro. I don't know. I'm gonna leave the. I don't want to do the Uptie story right now. I don't want to. I'm just not ready for it. I'm not mentally prepared. Oh yeah, I got this. Because of the free currency we got, I got this. I got this Honglu. But first, Gamba. I have 20 tickets worth of rolls too, so I may as well. I am sitting on a rather large pile of thread, yes. I should most certainly be using it more. But it's my thread. It makes a very comfy throne. It's not green. And that makes me sad. But it could be a fake out. Green? Green? No, green. Boo. Ooh! Ooh! It's a fake out! It's a fake out! First try, motherfucker. Hello, Yisang! Streamer luck. Streamer luck. Streamer luck. Streamer luck. Well, dang. Now you have to kind of get Pew Pew Sang. I know! Now I have to get Pew Pew Sang! It's important! Hello, K-Boy! Hello, Red Roach! Welcome! Hello, Lego! Ah, yes. The free event currency for the engine error. Yep, wink, wink. He just wanted the event thing. Yeah! Librarian luck. Yeah! Hi, Maxa. How many dice does the Solemn Lament page roll in? Not enough. Yes! Yes, 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 yes. It's a sign. It's a sign that I should be going for him. So let's not roll again yet. Let's go into my inventory. I've got... Oh, I have enough. I have enough. So let's go get it. Solemn Lament sang. Go! Yeah! Oh no. Ding. Oh. Solemn Lily sang. Oh no, so now I'm gonna hydrate 8 times. Okie dokie. Hmm? Hmm. Hmm? Hmm. Hmm? Hmm. 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 Yummy! Engine error. I firmly believe it was given out so KGH could get the idea. I have heard this rumor and I love it because, you know, if you're a CEO, why not? Why not have fun? Should we do it? Go again? Should we go again for fun? I got tickets. Why not? One more gamba. One more. Maybe more. I don't know. It's not green. Could be a fake out. Could be another fake out. But it's not green. It's yellow. But it ain't green. Ooh. Pretty Angel Roger. I don't have any Roger egos, so that's really good. Oh, hello. And Reindeer Ishmael. Hello, Pablo. This isn't a Gregor ID. What are you doing here, Pablo? Biblically accurate, Roger. I take the win is the horse because the horse always wins. It's true. Probably shouldn't keep rolling. But that's really good, actually, because like I said, with Roger, in terms of egos, I have no egos. So we have 1 Roger egos. This is an absolute win. I also want to see if I can level up Pew Pew Sang. Level up Pew Pew Sang. Do I have enough to level up Pew Pew Sang? Not quite. I'm gonna need to grind. But that's okay. I have 1 big level boost ticket. But I don't think I'll use that. Yeah, Healing Roger. Static again? Boo boo boo. I'm not hearing any... I'll do the thing just in case though. I'm gonna do a quick ego and thread spin to get 3 passive. I do need to equip ego. What's the point in having Solemn Lament if I don't have Solemn Lament? So yeah, I'll just have to throw up this. Do you... When it comes to this, I'm gonna have to uptight again. Gamma more until you get Dawn office. I might skip the uptight story. And read it in my own time. Because we... Gamban plot. But then it is Don Quixote. 'Tis day 26! What a merry, fantastic day it was again! Send all your savings on funding the Limbus anime. It'd be great to have... I would love the Limbus anime. For today was the day upon which I was availed a chance to, with our dearest fellow magical maiden, explore the tales of fixers of the northern regions whose conveyance of justice was most valiant. Oh, how tedious it must have been for the maiden to be incarcerated in such a barren, claustrophobic chamber, bereft of even a morsel of stimulation. She who deserveth to breathe the free air, fighting evil by moonlight. Nay, one must always remain wary of the truth, that she is but an abnormality, not to mention that I, as a captain, must set a proper example for the other employees. I must best categorize this under the label of attachment work. Aha! But of course, all of mine efforts preparing various props that align with the abnormality's preferences, conversing for long hours with her, were all but honest toil to prevent abnormality 0-01-04's cloth counter from decreasing. It must have been emphasized that any suggestion or allegation that I did all this for the sake of mine entertainment, or that I voluntarily stayed past work hours to obtain her ego gift. Don is a level 4 nugget. Are most preposterous accusations, which I do protest with vehemence. Let this record be witness of mine earnestness. Upon this is quite bizarre, that my handwriting hath become so squiggly and anxious. For I am to proceed some deep breaths. Thus I shall herefore describe a law of this arcana she explained to me. From what I hear, she is the one of the veritable magical girls who are destined to battle villains. A great will in need of observers of justice to stand tall before the overwhelmingly powerful might of villains, be it minor or major arcana, hath chosen them and transformed them into magical girls. As arcana itself is but a neutral force of magic, it can be possessed and moulded by both good and evil. Only those who are free from the corrupting allures of its powers, only those with a steadfast vision for justice, may be hailed as magical girls. The more Don talks, it's like, yes, this ego makes so much sense. She claimeth to have other senpai, meaning that she is the least experienced or perhaps the youngest out of them all, and hath explained that one moment she simply found herself arising in this facility. Don is now power corrupt. Yes. I would watch the adventures of Don and hate. As I was the one who to want to enter her chamber in the moment of her awakening, she mistook me as an agent of the arcana. She was quite hostile to me then. 'Twas quite troublesome to resolve that misunderstanding. Magical girls, the arcana, much did she befuddle me with words I found so peculiar and unfamiliar, until I espied a common theme. All these stories she shared were none too dissimilar of the tales of fixers of the city. Through following my employment here at Lobotomy Corporation, I was behooved to relinquish this old dream of mine of becoming a fixer. If only I could dream again, by donning the identity of a magical girl of justice. Ah, what joy that would indeed be. I inquired with haste, "Prithee, how does one become subject to this choosing?" A great tragedy it was, for she explained that she knew not why she had been chosen, or how one goes about becoming a chosen one. Yet I came to the revelation upon observing the ego gear extracted from her. Were I to be equipped with the selfsame outfit, the very essence of love and justice, I may be a magical maiden of justice as well. She could not find it within herself to believe it at first. Outfit is hardly what maketh a magical girl, she versified. Yet she soon came to see eye to eye mine most honest-hearted thirst towards justice, this burning righteous wrath against evil. Moreover, when she witnessed my battle against breached abnormalities, when she came out to assist in our suppression efforts, verily, 'twas the moment of revelation for her as well, that I am, forsooth, a veritable and excellent magical maiden, just as herself. We are now together protectors of justice at this company. Though the Sephiroth always diminish us, admonishing us as more trouble than help, though other colleagues who have experienced loss at the hands of abnormalities may impart resentful sentiments against us. I know this to be the truth. That true magical girls are stubborn strugglers, survivors weathering whatever terrible adversity cometh their way. 'Tis no wild, naive ramblings of a dream-consumed one. In fact, ever since my transfer to this central command team to manage this magical maiden, I have preserved and conducted repeated attachment work on her, and that hath lifted me to the position of captain. As Manager Esquire hath found this development and lowered containment breach rate for the magical 014 most satisfying, both Tifereth, sir, and lady have both spoken thusly indeed. Ho! Perplexing is it that I supposedly imply that she used to breach containment? Yet, in my recollections, I was her one and only manager, ever since she was first in the central command. Yet I have no memory of her breaching containment. Well, nothing to concern myself with. That sounds like something to concern yourself with, Don. That sounds like something to concern yourself with. Spanish lady learning of concepts of Japanese seniority. From being born the collective unconscious in Korean setting. That's a lot. There's a lot to figure out. The strongest Limbus Guna. Hello, Necromancer. Hello, 100 American Bison. That's a lot of bison. The least unsettling Lobocorp story. Yeah, I'm very curious about Yi Sang's too, but we're not gonna get there. Well, I suppose I can up time. You've seen my giant pile of thread, so... Truthfully, I am quite bubbling with excitement for what tomorrow holds. And it shan't be peace that awaits me. Nay, it shan't be. For that is a detriment to the worth of mine existence. Sweetie, you have become her. Problems and all. Is it? How strange. 'Tis almost as if her sentiments are rubbing off on me. Verily, the existence of peace hath no business with my usefulness. This must be fatigue speaking. I must also visit this welfare team, for it hath opened anew today. In today's management session, she claimed that there was a strange stir in the air. Perchance one of her elusive senpai hath arrived here as an abnormality. I must go meet the employee responsible for her management, post-haste. Well, with jolly anticipation for what tomorrow holds, thus doth my daily journalings come to an end. I take it the other one is Roger's ego, which I have, I just haven't leveled up. So I should do that too, so I can see both the magical girls. Yay! We have her and the ego. I should probably do this at some point. I don't have enough now. Oh, I should do things. Level up and do things. But I can't level up Yiseng, which makes me sad. But I can do uptie of Yiseng. Should we do a Gamba first? Gamba, then more reading. I mean, I can do a little more. Little more! It's not green. It's not green, but it could. It is green! Green, 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 green. Green. What green we get? Faust? Gregor!
쌍화차인가? 오늘따라 차의 맛 고향이 지레서
I am so lucky.
한가운데 잘 뛰어났군 그래.
Hi, Greg. With your little stash. It's not a good enough stash, I won't lie. I'd like a bigger stash. But I do like that Pablo's getting a bit of food in this one. You can't see it on the stream. 1 minute. You have to see. You have to see Pablo. Look, Pablo in the corner getting a bit of food here. He's also a spectacularly strong ID. Fuck yes. The team. I need XP real bad now. I don't have enough XP for all these IDs. Now I need Faust. I do need Faust. She's the last one. Oh lordy, the team is doing things. We now have this fella, who I can't level up. And complete it with Dawn Sinclair. I don't think I have enough to shard him at the moment. But if we do get all of them... Oh, I'm not far off, and I think I have enough boxes to push it up. So if we get Faust, I'll shard Dawn Sinclair as well. Just, you know, complete the set. It's important. Oh no, yeah, well I was gonna level up Yiseng first. We were gonna up-tie Yiseng first, and then we'll do it. Up-tie! Up-tie! Pew 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 pew. Yep, tremor burn. She's such a cutie. Nay, I have rested well enough. Oft I am summoned for work. Yet I despise it not. Thus there is no need for you to worry. An invisible bell resounds 2 pleasant high-pitched rings. The only sounds within the containment unit are the child's voice and the bell. You worry that I may be overstraining myself? Perhaps I would say that. Were the current workload much worse than usual, yet it is as burdensome as it has always been, thus, which in turn makes it rather passable. Ding ding! But the child replies as though he is engaged in a mutual conversation with something. It's likely that the abnormality with the head of a butterfly is directly transmitting its voice to this agent. In fact, I find this dialogue, Rather pleasant. A conversation with you seems to broaden my perspective on things. The abnormality chatting with the child is a rather difficult entity to manage. T-01-68, also known as Funeral of the Dead Butterflies. This abnormality is rather choosy about which employee it gets to manage it. With an unjust heart, find nothing but a waste of time conversing with it. Those with an unjust heart find nothing but a waste of time in conversing with it. And those that are rash of heart will quickly find themselves exhausted. That is what makes this child a most fitting employee to manage this abnormality. He has an appropriate amount of both a sense of justice and patience, and despite the fact that he is suppressing the abnormality's impulses, he does not do it. He does it through a gentle method of engaging in mutual dialogue, not by force. The abnormality is probably intelligent enough to recognize that it is an attempt to manage it, but it does not allow it to bother him. We did some gamba Kevlar. Whichever was the case, it was rare to find an agent whose mind does not immediately crumble upon conversing with it. A dull sound of a bell echoes once. I was merely watching the butterfly resting upon the back of your hand. They are those with no place to return, thus are bound to rest upon you. Is that correct? I got the Yiseng ego, and I've gotten Gregor. We're just missing Faust. And then I've said if we get Faust, then I'll shard Sinclair. Just to complete the Dawn collection. Instead of a bell, the large butterfly atop the abnormality's head slowly flutters its wings. A behaviour equivalent to a nod, perhaps. Should you perish, the butterflies flutter away again? As one sits, only to rise again. I got the minigun. There is no easy way to comprehend what this child is saying. It is rather difficult to understand what he means. He should know that death is not a concept applicable to the abnormalities, but the clear, almost refreshing sound of the bell conveyed as this work session yielded a positive result. The abnormality quite enjoyed that response, probably. Then I shall take my leave. Until next time, farewell. With that, the child exited the containment unit. He stands there for a moment, gladly enjoying that brief moment of respite. Still trapped in a daydream. Captain Ryoshu. Only to be awoken from his ruminations by the child with a cigarette in her mouth, captain of the safety team. Treating abnormalities like they're people will only complicate things. Don't make me SIT. I'm only giving it the impression of it. As you are well aware, this abnormality is... At least try hide your grin. We don't have time for this. Warning! Dawn of Violet warning. First warning, trumpet activated. All suppression units in each department. An ordeal descends. Yeah, it does. You're coming with me. I don't suppose there's any need for that. The child wields guns imbued with butterflies and stands back to back with the captain. Things aren't going according to plan. What, pray tell, does in this company? Stay here and hold the line. If you survive, but every single containment unit in this department falls, I'll kill myself. Got that? That is a manner of death that I would much prefer to avoid. I'll kill you myself, I believe is what she said. I said that wrong. The child mutters with an aspirated frown, while the butterfly bullets continue to blast from his guns. Pew pew pew! Gun team, is gun team really complete? He'd grown into a very skilled employee over his time here. Enough so that he could exchange a few banters with his colleague as he engaged in combat. If you thread spin the ego to 3, it makes Pew Pew Yisang into a tremor ID. Yes! I need to do that. Will you not assist, Captain? I'm heading to visit the information team to pick up the bullets they moved from the middle layer. The bullets. I see. The bullets must be the shield type the manager and the Sephiroth fired to protect us then. I prefer the bullet that bursts everything it touches. Isn't there a true beauty in blasting an annoying co-worker in the head apart? But I suppose the useful ones get to live. The control team captain ordered her men to move the bullet stock from the middle to the upper layer. For some information and trading purposes, she says. Ah, is it Captain Faust of whom you speak? And training cannot have been her purpose, only an excuse to ensure that we have access to the bullets. As that level of preparation appears rather unnecessary for ordeals of dawn, particularly a calamity of great magnitude is nigh to unfold. It would be a waste to use the bursting bullet on someone useful like you. I heard tell that the Sephiroth in charge of Captain Faust's department maintains quite the dangerously high standard for her employees, subordinates. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Upper layer employees? Well, I will be in charge of the operations for this ordeal, so please follow my directions. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. She can try come up with something airtight, but she's not smart enough for that. The captain must have prepared countermeasures for such emergencies. Yet the more complicated the structure of things, the greater the room for the greater room for it. The greater room it is for holes to go unnoticed. And I mean you, training team, information team, and safety team. I know that our employees can handle this. I suppose she's not lying, considering that an employee who can't handle this is no employee at all in her eyes. With that, the captain spun around and disappeared into the other side of the hallway. Left alone, the child turns the muzzle of his handguns toward the violet creatures. Fruits of understanding. Have you not lost your ways? He carries out his duty, firing bullets as lost as his foes. I mourn you, bloom, and be the path for one another to follow. In solemn silence. That wasn't solemn silence! Yi-san can't help but be poetic as he go pew 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 and ding 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 ding. I can't wait to ding 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 all over the place. Beautiful. I can't level up more. I have this ticket. I might use that on McGregor maybe. And you're right. I should spin my ego. Can I do that? Thread spin. Confirm. Thread spin. Ding. 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 Yeah. After thread spin 3, you say? I do not have enough. I cannot. But we can 3 it. Okay. Next, like I said, maybe I can level up the Gregor with this. Except it's to level 60. I can only get people to level 50, so maybe not. But we read a thing, so we get to pull again. Do you think Faust's gonna come home now? We have to try. We have to try. Green? No green. This is where our luck runs at. But I mean, we're still streaming. So we could get more luck still. Maybe. Nah. Nah, we ran out. We ran out of the luck. Ooh, we can get 2 more. No, 1 more. 2 more. 2 more. Luck drought. Faust has to come. 1 more. Just 1. Yeah, Sinclair took her away. Sinclair didn't want to get cocked. That's okay. I want to have a quick play with the teams, so... Team 2, Pew Pew team. We have gun. We don't have a Faust with a gun. Faust needs a gun. Where else are you gonna spend those lunacies anyway? You make a good point. I mean, Magical Girl of Love and Hate is basically the first one. Did you get Magic Dawn? I did get Magic Dawn. That was the first thing I did. I had enough to shard Magic Dawn. I need my Pew Pew Ryoshu. That is my Pew Pew Mer. Then we have Pew Pew Full Stop. Then we have Pew Pew Heathcliff. So we have a little bit of a Pew Pew team, but not quite. Hey Nameless, you're almost done with the battle pass. I think 1 or 2 weekly MD rewards would be enough. I did the battle pass. Or at least I did the main bits already. I did, look, I did it. I already done the 80, so now it's just like that. So I did it. Yeah, I do. So if we're not gonna go for Sinclair, then I might get Pew Pew Ryoshu. Gotta get the Labubu announcer. Ah, that's true. I would like to potentially keep rolling for the announcers, cause I wouldn't mind any like more of the. We got Bina. Bina likes tea. Bina's great. Fuck it, we're doing it again. I'm doing it again. What am I saving for? When there's announcers to be had too. I didn't think about the announcers. They do have a low chance, but what if? What if? What if we failed? What if we failed? And what if we won again? And what if we win again? And what if it was another fake out? Yeah, what if the audio got crunchy again? It did get crunchy again. What if we failed? What if we absolutely failed? Oh well. Oh well, we had fun. That's all that matters. So I don't quite have enough for a good Pew Pew team, but we can get Ryoshu. So if I like, how much Ryoshu have I got? I have 200 Ryoshu. What if I just did everything on Ryoshu? Yes. I have enough for Ryoshu. Yeah! Pew Pew Ryoshu!
그 동화의 끝이 고작 그런 결말이었나? 차라리 듣지 않는 편이 나았겠어.
Yeah, it's having fun. Event rewards. It's fine. This game's fun. We'll do what we want. I know, and it's pretty pink Ryoshu too. So now we can change this to pretty pink Ryoshu. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have enough to make something of a pew pew team. Wonderful. It's not complete yet, but it's nearly there. And you know, for the sake of it, I'm actually gonna go ahead and use that ticket. That level everything up ticket. Yeah, I know. Why not? I would like to use Gregor in the team today, so I would rather use it now. Gregor! With every breath I took, the acrid air round me burned my throat. Cries of pain, sorrow, and fear rang out from every direction, and other indescribable horrors overwhelmed my senses as thick blanket of smoke squeezed the oxygen out of the air. The smoke permeated everything. In the fields of battle packed full with the spray of blood and scattering shrapnel, clashing blades and bullets whizzing past comrades and enemies, both the miasma found the cracks in the surface. Yeah, I don't... if it's vague enough, then I won't get it without context, so I should be okay. We used to call its stench the scent of humans. Oh, here comes my daily fix. Let me set it on your table, Master. It's hot. You don't want to burn yourself. Listen, kid, there's really no need to baby me like that. Years have passed since that smoke left its mark on my memory. And now I'm leading a small fixer office where I nurture and train pupils of my own. I wonder what my younger self would think if he saw me now. Could he ever imagine having this kind of life? The kind of Prozac peaceful life where I could sit in a cool air-conditioned room and sip on a pleasantly warm cup of Sanghua cha my pupil brewed. He has a point, Sinclair. Perhaps it would be best for your career perspectives if you redirected the focus of your endeavours on tasks that more befit the responsibilities of a fixer rather than a tea brewer. Brewing Sanghua chai can't be the most important task that you would spend the time every morning to carefully analyse your superior's mood and choose which topic would suit his palate. I would 100% try the tea with a raw egg. I think it's so cool and fascinating. I give it a go. Well, I think I'm pretty good at it, so... Could he have imagined the kind of sedate life where I get to enjoy a hearty chuckle every now and then, watching the shenanigans unfold as my pupils passive-aggressively throw jabs at one another about what are ultimately frivolities? No, how could he? After all, how could he lose himself daydreaming when even a split second of distraction would mean certain death? Oh yeah, just got back from that contract, didn't you? The Open Legend class request? Yes, I have completed the request regarding the 1,000 needles. Yes, I remember the 1,000 needles and how awful they were. Oh, wow, you're impressive. Solving that Urban Legend class request all on your own. Lone Fixer. Did they do anything with that, by the way? Yuna's Lone Fixer trait on the Faust? Does she have anything for that? The target posed an increasingly substantial threat as it mounted a more aggressive resistance toward the end, but Yeah, but it's kind of ass. Boo. I mean, the tea is supposedly hot enough to cook the yolk. It's probably not raw anymore. That's what I thought. Because if you're gonna... that's the whole thing of a boiled egg, right? It's in a hot water and it boils. Her lone fixer is a support passive that grants +3 offense and defense level up if there's only one ID left. Oh, that is kind of... eh. Roughly equivalent to +1 for rolls. I mean, it could be better, yeah. Thank you for telling me, everyone. I had a question regarding the contract, Herr Gregor. What for me? What is it? Oh, I bet that works really well with the Ryoshu then. If it's the Unga Bunga Solo Ryoshu. Yeah. For Ryoshu, yeah. As the name Thousand Needles would suggest, I was present with ample opportunities to collect and examine some black needles at the scene. Bearing those symbols, I presume. Correct. Symbols with a yellow glow, to be precise. Its patterns were analysed next to symbols used by various workshops that mark their output, but no exact match was identified. Imitating Stigma's product branding branding's all the rage these days. There must be an uptick in workshops making their products, leaving their symbols in the aftermath of a battle. Got me worried for a sec. Maybe they'd become so money-grubbing they started sponsoring all kinds of maniacs out there. But with this, that's one load off my mind. Though it isn't as bad as it used to be, the city is losing what warmth it had by the hour. The proverbial winter starting to set in its denizens lately. I like to think I've seen my fair share of the worst of the city had to offer, but day after day, the increasingly bizarre and out there incidents find their way to shake and shock me anew. If there was any warmth at all, its temperature was rapidly dropping into what could be described as nothing else but frigid. Still, the optimist in me says it's not all bad, that we as a collective haven't quite reached the line we mustn't cross, and I find solace in that. Then again, you never know. Maybe there are folks out there, people already too far gone, and have crossed the line and then some, but... I know! Pablo's stealing crumbs. Gregor just looks like he's there to raise his kids. Then again, you can just sacrifice half the required Haso IDs to get her to her potential. I only have one House of Spider at the moment. Huh? Sponsorships? I didn't know workshops did that. You did not? Herr Gregor is the proverbial poster child of workshop-sponsored fixes. What? Can't blame Sinclair for not knowing. It's not like I have a habit of harping on about old times. I post-it the argument that any sentence that begins with "back in my day" that you are so fond of counts toward the conventional definition of harping on about old times. And in that case, could you tell us a bit about your past? I know you're a very prestigious fixer master, but I never had the opportunity to hear about what exactly you've done to earn that reputation. Yeah. Maybe the stories about those days are better shared in a light-hearted conversation. Just something to be mentioned in passing. Enough time has passed now, anyway. I've been using Stigma workshop weapons throughout my career, from the day I first started working in this business. Now, if you ask whether they were the best workshop weapons among all the ones I browsed, trying to find a weapon that will keep me company through thick and thin, no, they weren't exactly all that. Then why did you decide to go with Stigma Workshop Weapon Master? Well, I could say that wasn't a matter of my thin, hungry wallet, but more importantly, big name workshop out there don't let anybody walk right in just because they come knocking on their doors. Gotta keep clientele more distinguished, if you know what I mean. In other words, more well-known workshops weren't all that eager to take commissions from some no-name grade 9 fixer, even if he had the coin for it, which he didn't. Unfortunately for me, Stigma Workshop was a relatively unknown back in the day, with a more niche audience, which meant that they had no qualms getting a greenhorn like me purchase a decently high-quality weapon. Anyways, while the partnership was coincidental, it ended up being a win-win. I kept racking up successful contracts, and Stigma Weapon Shop reaped the subsequent renown and new swath of customers. And as a token of gratitude, they were generous enough to offer personalized upgrades for my weapon. Ah, so that's why all of our weapons are... You catch on quick, kid. It's all thanks to my connections that Stigma Workshop allowed a young chickling like yourself to wield one of their quality weapons. It seems that our office rep rarely tires of self-aggrandizing behavior, though one cannot deny the veracity of that claim. Anywho, it really saved my bacon more than a few times in the smoke war. Sinclair is a baby. He hasn't hatched yet. That's why his symbol's an egg. He's an eggling, not even a chickling. The smoke war. It's the same with any war, I'm sure, but for boots on the ground, foot soldiers, survival was the only thing that mattered. The most surefire way to guarantee survival would be to stay as far away as I could from the war, but that wasn't an option for nest-born fixers like myself. The battlefields were so dire that even association fixers had struggled through the fight after fight with broken, malfunctioning weapons and worn-down outfits. Yeah, I am aware of the smoke war. It's where all the old farts did things, including Leland. But because I was sponsored by Stigma Workshop, every time my sword needed maintenance, they provided it free of charge, and even threw in a series of upgrades. Back then, too, I was part of a detachment, perhaps a rather too grand name for what was a hastily assembled group of fixers, with even the remotest preparations against the damage of fire and heat in the war. We were a bunch of ragtag soldiers at best, but I won't deny there was an air of unwarranted confidence among us, given that all we needed to do was burn up a pair of wings. But that day, on that hill... Good evening, JCPOA. We ain't falling back here! Push the line forward! Infestation zone cleared. Regroup and rendezvous with the section director. Calling all recruited office fixers. We can do this together. Our right flame wall needs reinforcement. Leo Association? Yeah, that makes sense. If you need fire, you call the Leo Association. A monstrosity of evasive abilities bordering on precognition and offensive capabilities that, with a single hit, all could guarantee instant death. That was one of the decisive weapons of G-Corp, and Leo Association was selected specifically to handle it. I was probably stronger than each individual Leo fixer, but... One set of wings reduced to ash! Just one more push and... Leo do group battles, so they get hired a lot in wars and stuff. That makes sense. Don't let your guard down, team! Stay alert! Huh. Looks like we might actually have a chance. There's really no point in measuring individual merit when it comes to Leo fixers. The moment an all-out battle began, They came together with combined fluidity, not unlike that of a single organism, a dragon charging through the enemy forces under the section director's command. And it wasn't long before their flames dominated the entire battlefield. For a moment, the situation seemed so favourable that I began to hope we might defeat this foe without needing reinforcements. And with how things looked, the enemy was definitely on its back foot. We would be able to seize victory with just a little more effort. Enemy altitude's down, but velocity remains constant. Its erratic movements haven't slowed down. Its erratic movements haven't slowed down at all. Haven't slowed down at all either. Director! Goddammit, bug! Its airborne vertical maneuverability won't be diminished much, even if we somehow manage to burn all its wings. I see. The point of this operation was to prevent high-speed airborne escape. But whatever possible scenario we could come up with based on common sense did not apply to a decisive weapon of a wing. This is the famous flame of Liu? G-Corp Lord of Flies? This is the famous weapon of Liu. Slower than I imagined. The raging, seemingly... what? Beelzebub? Question mark? Anyway. The raging, seemingly impenetrable wall of fire flickered as it danced, inadvertently revealing the most minuscule of openings, and the monster's eye caught sight of two Liu fixes. Lord of Flies like the book? Maybe. Obviously everything is book-themed. And in the blink of an eye, they were gone. Before most of the fixers could even comprehend what had happened. I ran desperately to block the beginnings of a growing rupture in the formation. Hey, it's right above you! Swing up! Ah! You swung, but with a curious delay. Was he your favourite? You fuck! Director, don't let that monster get to you! Calm yourself and Once a crack begins to split open, it only grows into a rift. Without moving as one organic fluid motion, the flames will scatter into mere cinders, no longer merged as a flame dragon. The monster turned the tide, taking cover behind the fire and heat haze that obscured not only its vision but ours too. Fixers and mediocre ability scattered across the battlefield served only as hostages or meat shields for the monstrosity. Before we could even complete our initial goal of burning its wings. Huh. Chico bastards, the hell have you created? Director! The Lord of Flies descended upon the dragon's head and crushed it to a pulp. Our forces were minutes away from complete annihilation. I had to do something. So I ran up to the front of the line and rallied the troops. Regroup here! To me! You know who I am. We even had a quick meet and greet, remember? All of you are now under my command. Focus entirely on providing me support, and I swear I will burn that fucking vermin's remaining wings to ash! You're not our section director. We work with him best. I doubt you can fill his boots. Maybe. But you, me, we're not exactly flush with options, are we? No, I guess not. Fine. We'll march with you. Lead us. The world was on fire, and we were trapped in the flaming cage. The sky above was nothing but pitch black darkness. Smoke from fires and smoke that smelled of humans mingled, creating a horrible crimson eye of a noxious storm I could hardly describe in any fitting words. But I was leader on the hill now, and so I imitated the dragon's head to the best of my abilities. I may not have been the guy to fill the section director's boots, and I was only flying by the seat of my pants, but by having a small army of fixers following my flow and releasing bursts of flame at the right moment, my firepower grew twice as powerful. I alone blazed in the glow of the falling sun amidst the burning field of the infestation zone. Look at Pablo. Action Pablo. With the Leo fixers behind me, I felt like I could measure up pretty well against even the legendary Vermilion Cross himself. I mean, he's not that legendary. He died off screen. Anyway. But the bodies kept piling and piling. Past a certain level, simple numeracies like how many augmentations you have or what grade your gear is don't decide the outcome. This is where the other previously neglected factors come into play. Their training routine, the kind of efforts they put into them. The Vermilion Bloodbag, yeah he is! Also find it funny that he's at the opposite side of this war this time. That's true! Does Kafka intend to go over to fill out the body form the Vanilla Cross? The matchup between fighters, the battlefield, and the circumstances that might or might not give you an edge. We lasted pretty long for a sunset, didn't we? We kept oh, sorry, We kept on fighting even in this pitch black night. Eventually, I was the only one standing against that monstrosity of a foe. He is happy. Like, he might still have a funny arm, and he still has a pet cockroach, but he is happier. The Lord of Flies did not appear even remotely winded, as though he were drawing from an infinite pool of energy. The situation seemed rather hopeless, but I was young at the time. I still had that youthful streak of rebelliousness burning somewhere within me then. I will maintain the Vermilion Cross as a forward! Yeah, I'm with Maxwell on this. Vermilion Bloodbag. Because I wasn't ready to sit down and let death take me. I mean, who among us doesn't have a pet cockroach in this economy? What can you get? So I gathered whatever strength I had left in me, all the muscle memory, all the training I've done up to that moment, and held it in my hand. Hey, Flybud. I don't know if you've been keeping track of the time, but sun will be peeking over the horizon soon. Just look at how the faintest blue is starting to encroach in the black night, heralding the crack of dawn. Gregor getting to be a badass! The heated blade draws a beautiful pattern as it cleaves through space before me, under the distant sky. But the reach of my blade is too short to strike the monster. It evades the side with ease and regurgitates a steam of corrosive fluid. And it lands right on my sword arm, melting it, eating through the flesh and bone. You know what they say? It's the darkest before the dawn. Salvador was always pretty cool. I thought it was. But it's pretty bright out here now, isn't it? Before I could feel its fluid spreading, eating away at my torso from shoulder to hip. But at the same time, so does the space my purest resolve and sword has rent through. Its sundered fabric melting away as though through my flame. And the fly's wings that were touching the very tip of my blade's arc fall apart, its sliced segments melting away. Now that I didn't see coming. Canonically, the ID we get of Gregor is still close to his peak. But what will you do now? It seems you're out of options. I didn't quite imagine it happening like this, but at least I made it in time for sunrise. Say hello to my reinforcements. And your death. Weakling. Though the battle was fierce, we managed to do at the end of the day was cut off its means of escape. And the reinforcements command decided to send was but a single combatant. A single combatant to face this insurmountable foe, who was armed with unpredictable movements and a seemingly bottomless well of stamina. I'd be lying if I said the realization didn't hit me with a wave of disappointment and profound sense of futility. Hey, don't you know who I am? But nobody who's fought even a single skirmish in this battlefront wouldn't recognize the woman who just marched up to the battlefield with a cigar smoke blowing in the wind. I think I know who this is. It's Roger, Thumbnurse father, I assume. She's the same person who survived the brutal gauntlet of duel after duel. After that mercilessly cut down a number of promising futures, namely that grade 1 fixer. I get context! Oh no! She gets context! I haven't read Roger's uptie for the record. It's more just osmosis from seeing sprites and things. Who was a popular candidate, namely that grade 1 fixer who was a popular candidate for the title of a colour fixer, the rising right hand of Sotocapo, and others whose prospects were just as golden, and emerged victorious one battle after another monster of another nature. Lolan is not a woman. It's Lolan's wife. What do you want about? Of course I do. I've seen the way you fight. After leaving everything in her hands, I returned to our encampment in the back lines and had my injuries treated. Surrounded by the roaring cheer of spectators, I got to watch a recording of her battle against the Lord of Flies. The footage slowed down by several dozen times. The only way the video could have captured the way the two combatants sped and zoomed around each other. In that footage, it seemed as though the reinforcement managed to behead the Lord of Flies, killing it instantly before it even realized it was dying. As it turned out, if you kill the Lord of Flies before it even registers its own death, it won't have a chance to spawn the Maggot Prince. It was a shame that so much of the work we did to prepare to counter the Maggot Prince went to waste, but thanks to the Stigma Workshop single sealed on the back of Lord of Flies, and with the witness reports from Liu fixers who managed to survive the massacre, they recognized me as a major contributor to the success of that operation. Gregor. Gregor. Sorry, I must have gotten lost in reminiscing. Anyways, apparently burning the monster's wings ended up being one hell of a promotion for Stigma Workshop. You fellas better learn and appreciate me, because I'm the only reason they're still offering weapons sponsorship to our office, even in my semi-retirement. Not to mention the connections I made, then got us the position of Leo Association's affiliate office. 5,000 words, that's a big story. Yeah, that's how Gregor lost his arm for this one. Wow, you're really amazing, Master. Amazing, come on, I'm just a Washed up fixer with a broken body that never fully healed. Damages caused by the Lord of Flies' extremely corrosive fluid would have been difficult to recover from, even with a K-cup ampule of fairly high purity. It is likely that his nerves failed to fully regenerate. Yeah, I guess so. Still, it's all thanks to that one ampule I got for outstanding valor that I'm still alive and kicking after all this time. Remember, those ampules were even rarer back in the day. Well, kind of weird that the lady who slayed the decisive weapon isn't in the news at all nowadays. I haven't heard much about her myself in a long while. She sure didn't seem like the type to get herself killed unceremoniously, too. Well, she's probably enjoying herself in a comfy seat lording over peons like us. Washed up grade 1 fixer, in other words? Absolutely. Anyways, how's that for harping on about old times? Had enough yet? I throw a light-hearted jab as I pick up a piece of paper that's been on my desk for a while today, related to our next contract. Is that the objective that's had the fixer industry above lately? You got that right. This is our next contract. Is what our next contract will be about. They said my Zwei alum's death is connected to this contract too. Oh no, I'm sorry for your loss, Master. I can't imagine what you've been going through. My heart's unscathed, kid. I was never fond of that fella. The question is, have you heard anything about this object, Sinclair? Something they call the library's invitation. Time to go get turned into books! Yay! Book of Gregor. Sorry, my tea was getting cold. Jesus, it's been an hour and 20 minutes just rolling in uptight stories. I did shoot them to death. Nope. And then Sinclair disappeared. It is vampire time. I'm gonna go on a very quick BRB and then vampire time. Greetings. You make a point that Yuna and Salvador would have appeared and would have been like, where the fuck is Philip? But I mean, did the Leo Association would not have been aware that the crying children were Philip, as far as I know? So I really don't know if anyone would have been able to tell them. It's an interesting thought. I'd love to know more. I want them to write a side story or something. But for now, to La Mancha Land, wherein is discussed the blood fiends in hiding and the fixers who arrived first. I don't think anyone but the blue losers would have known. Leo investigate the crying children in their story. They talk about it. Oh, okay. I think they did make the connection between Philip and the crying children. Probably still talking to him to this day. Ah, okay. They did figure it out. Fair enough. I couldn't remember if they had or not, or whether they were just like, abnormality! Okay, so let's change up the team a little bit. Should we get rid of the ninjas? We don't do ninjas anymore. We're now doing gangsters, magical girls, an old fart Nisang. I don't know what this team is, but it's a team. I know, we finally kicked out all the Haitian. Which is good, because I've been wanting to get the bad Hong Lu out of my team for a while. Because magical mafia girls, yes. Because obviously that's his, like, bad end one. So I didn't want that in for when we get to his Canto. Right then. Was that the last of the blood fiends here? 'Twas a victory in our favour. No, there's more. Trembling rats inside that coffin. They lack even a morsel of shame. We open the coffin Ryoshu singled out. Holy shit! We're not supposed to scare the scare actors, guys! And several blood fiends came tumbling out. But look who's talking! Ryoshu, can you see through walls, by any chance? I only smelled their dirty cowardice. Did they leave? Who do you mean by they? The monsters who came to hunt us. Those bastards go around smashing our rides and attractions. Oh, I think I know who you're talking about. Did they make it safely past this attraction? Probably. You didn't get a good look at them? We had no choice. Our roles were to jump out and scare people during the banquet with the blood fiend scene, but we stayed put in here because they were even scarier. Uno reverse. I was catching up with your previous streams before this one. I wanted to add something to the discussion of what blood fiends are. My personal theory is that blood fiends are actually corrosions. Where should we talk about this? You can't use wall hacks or else you'll get back. The visitors used to scream and run when we jump out of these coffins. They really loved it. We even took pictures of them once we're done with the attraction. Hey guys, I want to know something cool. We're running an event where we'll take a free commemorative picture with you for only 400 milliliters of blood. How's that? Don't you want to leave a picture for this spooky experience? 400 milliliters is nothing, right? It's just a trickle of blood with no danger to your health. I even heard that you humans have to draw blood once in a while to renew your blood supply and keep things fresh and healthy. You all want to live long, healthy lives, don't ya? Bet you do! Thank you for the follow, Agent Link. Agent Inko even. Another to my collection. What collection? What collection am I in? It does touch on the point that blood fiends don't seem that scary compared to many of the humans in the city. So it's hard to have the same reaction to Limbus streamers! Haha! I will happily be in that collection. Mate, you serious? Ah, no! No! I'm sorry. Won't drink your blood. Not even a drop. I don't want to be part of that plan anyway. I just wanted to get out of here. That reminds me, I wonder what happened to the ones who managed to escape. Oh, I should have run away too. When I had the chance. Remember, blood fiends are human, otherwise the head would murder them. I mean, they're not human though, are they? I mean... We're really skirting the line on what the fuck a human is. Heathcliff be like, you what, mate? I do give Heathcliff as much you what, mate energy as I can, because that is his vibe in Limbus Company. It's, you what, mate? You what? It is likely he is referring to Cassetti. The head would murder them if they weren't human. They were human, so I guess it's good enough. Also remember the distortions. No, they are not. They were human. Were. Past tense. But would outside be any better? Now, how will I live? Hiding in sewers like rats, hiding from humans? I don't want that life. No. This place is also just so... We're cornered. There's nothing we can do. We have no options left. It's either die or live a life worse than dying. The head is fine with anything of human origin, like if you become completely mechanical. Exactly. It's like the Gears slaves, basically. I wouldn't call them human anymore. They were human. Yes, were. But are most certainly not now. Well, based on the fact that light stuff is related to human subconscious, it makes sense that light entities are still considered as human. Blood fiends are as human as any of us, though they are victim of prejudice due to, well, their need for blood. Indeed, gear worships are basically shambling corpses. Exactly! They are not human! If not human, why human-shaped? That is not how we figure out if it's human! Does it human? Wouldn't surprise me if the head is run by an AI or non-human that doesn't want the competition. Human corpses, so no, not human, was human. Corpses, not human. Human corpses, corpse was human, but is not human. What is human? We don't know anymore. If not human, why human taste? Yeah, the head definitely has an obsession with the concept of humanity, but what he sees as the concept of humanity, we just don't know. A woodcutter is a human. Yeah, he is. This accursed La Mancha land! Does this room have a, oh, please, 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 be it that this place has a secret light. Look at my team! I'm so happy. Look at my 3 new members. We got Best Girl, Magical Girl. We have Dad the old fart, and Yisang. He's no different. He just has a gun now. He's just Yisang, bro. Mayonnaise can be human if you bake it long enough. Pew pew! You get him done. I mean, it's not stated the light is related specifically to human subconscious, or all conscious beings might be able to produce light. Edgelord group versus sparkly magical. One of those D's is in the wrong anime. I know, look at the wall, and then there's Dawn. I love it. Do all capos and sotokapos have to, like, have cigars? Is it, like, a necessary thing? Just between Mer and Rodian here, they both have cigars. It's part of the uniform, I see. Beep 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 beep. Maybe. Gotta stay on theme. It is true. The thumb is all about, like, fitting in to the hierarchy. Haven't seen evidence for or against other sapiens being able to interact with light unless Angela counts. Can't have a mafia aesthetic without cigars. Thumb and mafia, they gotta do it. Yes, it is mostly for theming. And you know what? We stand the theming. My hair coupon! Sorry, I have to, every time I see it, the thing, it's great. Angela definitely counts, 100%. Because Angela is not human. Based on a human, sure. Not human, 100% though. Middle is basically just wear purple and vaguely look like your sibling. I like middle is like Yakuza more like, because like all the tattoos and stuff as well. Tattoos, purple, chains. I mean, that's chains and purple aren't specifically a Yakuza thing, but tattoos are specifically a Yakuza thing. That's their uniform. It is. It is. And then you got the mafia with the thumb, and then I guess Index is more like a church with like their uniform being like these long flowy white capes and whatnot. I don't know enough about the other fingers yet. I look forward to finding out that. I'm really looking forward to Ryoshu's Canto to find out more. The fingers were something I was quite fascinated about in Ruina. And I've said it before, that I'm repeating myself for the 1000th time, it feels like. But just in case you didn't know, I really want to find out about the fingers. All the fingers, they are! And I love, like, what they represent about our beliefs of these fingers. Like, thumbs, under the thumb. You got your index finger. They're pointing the way. They're directing you. They're giving prescripts. It makes sense. That's what your index finger does. It points! Yes, we did see a bit of the ring in Heath's Canto, indeed. My theory is no one is currently a true human. The head is trying to recreate real humans, but the only thing they have to work off is a database of old literature. That would be interesting. The middle is fuck you in particular. Correct! That is exactly what it is. The middle is a rude, is a brash and rude gesture. That's why the middle is fuck you in particular. What did Pinky do though? Pinky's on, like, Pinky swear is what I would think with Pinky. I don't know what it does in Thingy, but like I said, Pinky to me is a promise. Pinky promise. And then Ring is... I know in Ruina they're artists, aren't they? So... I'm guessing because a ring is a piece of jewellery, they've gone with sort of art that way. Because, I mean, they can't do promise twice. Because ring would also be, like, a commitment for marriage. Ring is artisans and research. Yeah, so I think they're going for, like, the artistry of a ring, like, as an actual piece of jewellery. I think that's what they're going for with the ring, anyway. Here is recounted the tale of the forlorn king and the family that was once happy. After that, Ruina didn't go into the ring. Ruina only really had thumb, index. Maybe there was a mention of the others, but those were the only two, really, I believe, that were in Ruina. Because Middle I didn't know anything about. Aw, they had the Middle plan, but it's cancelled. Boo. Congratulations, O brave adventurers! You have uncovered every secret of the kingdom. It is time I let you leave. Should you face such terrors in the world beyond, remember your bravery here and triumph over them as you have today. Now please give a warm welcome to the blood fiends of the attraction, Haunted Bloody Mary. They'll be here for the spooky, scary photo shoot with blood fiends. And the narration just stops there, huh? Well, we already took care of the blood fiends, who were supposed to show up on cue, so yeah, makes sense. Middle Ring and Pinky were busy fighting each other. Yeah, so I remember Middle was kind of fucked over by Roland, if I remember correctly. Because of Roland's massacre, yeah. So, Middle as a whole, probably okay, but probably like a fourth of their section had been fucked over, still dealing with that. And Ring and Pinky were all busy fighting each other, as mentioned by the Flam Capo. Oh, okay. Carla mentioned it. That's fair. I'm kind of glad that Ruina didn't cover everything, because what they did was such a lovely tease of this world. And I'm so glad that we got an app game, because as much as live services are horrible, they are so good at expanding the laws of universes that already exist. They are kind of a really fun way of telling a story, because you can just keep updating it as you go. It's a smaller and easier version of doing, say, an MMO or something like that. It's storytelling. Storytelling! It's a whole new medium of storytelling. If you don't think it's too spoilery, Tinkek, you can. He would have G-U-H. He would have graced us himself, she says? What misfortune! Every clue that may have shed light on the secrets of this tragic kingdom's history has been pulverized by the guests who passed through before you. Did the voice just change? It wasn't the audio quality this time, right? 'Tis the voice of that Sanson. Oh, here he is again. And our dear Bloodfiend actors, who put so much effort into giving you a good surprise, have all disappeared as well. The downside to it is it results in a huge part of the lore of an entertaining world being tied to a gacha game. That is the downside. Grand Order, exactly. Another series that is suffering from it is Kingdom Hearts. A big part of their lore was in the gacha game that got shut down. Madoka Magica also having that issue with Magia Record. It is sad. Fico's fun. What do you want about? To be fair, I got to the India Lost Belt in Fate before I sort of dropped off. It's a lot. It's a lot. The middle is connection and family, but it's closed and hostile to outsiders to the point of throwing siblings at vengeances like cheap soldiers. I mean, Kingdom Hearts has a lot of storytelling problems to me. It do, but it got even more when its gacha game turned off. We have brought righteous judgment upon those evil wretches. I'll stick to watching Tsukihime Remake Part 2 for the next decade. even the gentleman responsible for that narration. Well, perhaps in place of a photo shoot, we should slot in a brief explanation about the secrets of this kingdom. The voice beyond the speaker began with a hint of excitement, as though he'd been expecting this situation all along. Or maybe he's expecting something to come of this. Long, long ago, a lonesome king resided within the towering walls of this great castle. Enduring so many years of such a desolate place wore him down. Lonely mornings, silent nights, the king's heart forever hollow void. So this soul-crushing loneliness drove the king to yearn for a family. Desperately, oh so desperately. Sanson wants to put on a really elaborate puppet show play. I mean, at least he's not puppeteering my sinners this time. That's great. Personally, I have a bias to the middle. They are definitely, in a way, kind of the nicest of the fingers. Once you're in, you're in. It's fine. I don't know about the other two, but thumbs, you say one wrong thing and your tongue is getting cut out. Terrible. Just don't leave. Don't leave. Never leave. Be comfortable. Live with it. It's your life now. Oh no, I meant the fake ghost story. Yeah. Oh look, it's Don Quixote! Right here! And that's Lady Dolacina in it. Lady Dolacina del Toboso. So which one's Sancho? So the king began turning his wish into reality, forging a family of his own, blood-bound to spend the rest of their lives together until the end of their days. Index is inverse, the prescript says your choice. Bryony, have you seen what happens when Thumb Sinclair loses a role in Dungeon Story mode? I assume he shoots himself. But no, I haven't. Somehow the thumb is 100 times worse to their people than anything people say about the middle. Exactly. The king's love for his family was bottomless and generous. Soon the cold, desolate castle became a cozy home brimming with warm laughter. Yeah, I thought so. Yet, perhaps happiness simply isn't a thing that lasts. It was one of those many happy days when a knight hailing from a faraway kingdom arrived at the gates of this castle. The knight was a traveller and a wanderer with hundreds of adventures and thousands of tales to tell, collected from hither and thither, and yonder beyond the world outside the castle. The king, who had spent his entire life never settling so much as a foot outside the castle, requested that the knight recount tales of those adventures to him. The knight, at want of any reason to refuse this request, said as such, "O honoured king, verily, I shall regale thee with tales of the worlds I have witnessed, the adventures I have undertaken." Soon something new, something different began to fill the castle. Tales of thrilling adventures. Some days they would talk of a long voyage at sea, of heroes braving the relentless waves. Some days they would whisper heartbreaking tragic tale of lovers. Some days they would sing of a hero's perilous encounter with an unyielding monster. Am I wrong to think that they would talk of a long voyage at sea, of heroes braving relentless waves? Altis. Some days they would whisper of heartbreaking tragic tale of lovers, Heathcliff. And sometimes they would sing of a hero's perilous encounter with an unyielding monster. I'm not sure who that would be. But maybe... I mean, Faust summons a demon in the book, so... As the king spent days upon days without sleep or rest, lost in the tales of adventure, he soon came to a grave realization. Sinclair with Chroma, maybe? That his family of blood, his confined happiness locked within the castle, cannot fill that void in his heart. Your guess is as good as ours? You did not notice the parallel before. There's a little parallel. So the king began to fill that emptiness with tales of adventures the knight regaled him with, and his infinite love for his family started to grow in a different direction, toward adventure, toward the night, and toward the world outside the periphery of his castle. The family thought that it wouldn't last. It was all but a fleeting dream after all. Just a brief, silly whim in which he fancied himself as what he was not. See, now this is interesting because this sounds more like the king. From the original Don Quixote story, the king sounds more like Don Quixote right now. However, this silhouette looks like the Don that we know, or at least the vampire Don that we've come to know. The family thought it wouldn't last. It was all but a fleeting dream, after all. Just a brief, silly whim in which he fancied himself as what he was not, donning himself a pair of ragged boots and wielding an iron lance, which is Don Quixote.
그래서 가족들은 기다렸습니다. 자신들에게 공허함을 되물려준 왕이 창조자가 다시 자신들만을 사랑해 줄.
The family waited for the king, their creator, who could not only give them love, but bequeath them the same void of heart to love them, and only them again. Yet for all their waiting, what came thereafter from the king's mouth was bitter to their ears. It could be that they got stuck fighting K-Corp employees and kept regenerating themselves, or Guido, who kept coming back. Let us bring down the walls of this castle. Let us make friends with those outside, declared the king. The family was afraid. To bring down the castle meant their comfortable, familiar, and eternal home and nest was to be no more. But the family loved the lonely king and his will enough to help him demolish his own castle. So the deed was done, spades in their hands. Yet, those who lived outside the castle were far too different from those who lived within. The king's family had to give up so many things. Happiness, joy, ecstasy, pleasure, hope, anticipation. They had to give them all up because otherwise they could not become friends with those outside the castle. So the king outlawed happiness from his family because he believed that they could be happy merely by watching happiness of others, of those who lived outside the castle blossom. That happiness was something that could be shared, believing that their happiness could be our own in time. All of our pursuits of happiness were ordained a sin. So I ask, why must we repent our happiness? There were so many mentions of family. What do you suppose he's trying to say? Oh, the shit, that's what. How interesting. I wonder if that family ever had real happiness to begin with. While everyone else found themselves rendered speechless by this gloomy tale, Honglu did not hesitate to share his thoughts, as though it was just another light-hearted tale. Oh, look! I see the exit sign over there. It looks like this is where the attraction ends. Who gives a shit? Let's go, guys! I've heard better stories from my nurse. Honglers. He's so chill. Yeah, it says something under there. There was a sign on the wall with instructions written in bold letters. Calling out Samson for the misinformation. All blood fiends must attend at least one weekly consultation with the priest. See, now I've been reading the book. I've had the barber in the book where Don Quixote stole the helmet from. And now I'm pretty sure I had the priest, because I think the priest is the one that looked kind of spooky at night, and therefore Don Quixote beat them up, and the priest was like, "You're excommunicated," and Don Quixote was like, "I'm not excommunicated, I don't understand the Latin you just said. Also, I didn't hit you, it was my lance." So, yeah. Have I been to confession lately, Brandy? I've never been to confession. Ever! I got nothing to confess, I'm a sinless being! Consultation session? Consultations of what kind and on which subject? One must wonder. Have you got to the bit where Don Quixote is revealed to be a vampire yet? Not yet! But we're still not terribly far through the book, so... anything, I guess. Maybe it's like a confession. I know it's clearly not true anymore, but La Manchelan must have put a lot of effort back in the day. Indeed, perhaps they once dreamed of coexistence. Nay, nothing but wicked trickery at all. Darn, I'm not sure it's wicked trickery. Hey, have a battle! Guys, I think this is the only node we're gonna get through today because I got so into those Uptie stories. We did do 3 Uptie stories. Because I'm just looking at the time now. The stream has flown! We have so many cute new IDs! Gun Team is getting together! Which I'm so happy about. Have we gotten to a bit where it's revealed that Dante has a clock for a head? No, I haven't found Dante in the book yet. Don has yet to call anyone manager Esquire. So I do hope we get a manager Esquire soon. But I don't know. I do find it funny that last stream we did talk about the helmet. And that was literally the next chapter I read. When we got to Sunday, I was like, oh yeah, this happened! It was fun. Don, you literally tried to make friends with evil Christmas gnomes that dismember people. Why can't you get along with blood fiends? Delulu! Something instinctual in Don does not like the blood fiends at all. I think it's that part of Don that's maybe still trying to escape. Trying to keep their dream alive by pretending... trying to run away from something that's close to the truth kind of thing. I think that's what it is. However, I do also think Don has a bit of an issue with appearances because the gnomes look cute, therefore Don was like, they can't be evil, they look cute. So I think Don, if all the blood beans looked cute, I think Don would have less of an issue. Also, if the train wasn't so traumatic to Don, Don might not have as much of an issue again. Too bad, the second they revealed the gnomes were evil, was no longer friends with the Christmas gnomes. That's true, that's true. It's a little harder to hide your evilness when your appearance is blood be tasty. Magical girl, Don Don. Blood is fuel. Blood make blood fiend go burr.
회사가 정상으로
잠시
돌아갔네.
어지러워서 못 봤어요.
이번 제압은 끝이야.
뭐
너희들도
또
고생
대단한
많았어.
일이라도 하신 거겠죠?
티피피리투.
너도. 언젠가 우리도 모든 게
Rossing
끝날
and
때가
taper.
나를 들뜨게 만드는 일은 많지 않지만
Da 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 da. And I think with that, we have come to the end of today's stream. Let's use my nodes. Let's get my Anchorfell and event nonsense. Hey, I got a poll ticket. Not enough. Not enough for another 10 roll though. How many have I got? 4. Not enough. Sad that we didn't win them all. How dare, I'm so sad that I didn't, you know, win everything. How dare I not get literally everything, but I got like most of it. She's greedy. Thank you so much everyone for coming to today's stream. Thank you everyone in chat, thank you anyone alert, thank you anyone watching this VOD. I really appreciate you coming and hope you enjoyed, no matter which way you decide to enjoy. If you have not already, if you're on YouTube, if you could give the video a big fat like and a big fat follow, that would be lovely. And if you're on Twitch, if you give it a big fat follow there as well, that would be great. That would be lovely. If you have done that, you could join the Discord. That would be great. Things happen on Discords. If you've done that, what else should you do? I think that's most of the free TikTok. TikTok. You can follow me on the TikTokies and get the small contents of the clippies and the small contents. And I think that's all the social medias I have, because I don't go on many other social medias. So if you've done all that, you should know that I have merch. You can find my merch. You can buy it on YouTube now. So if you go onto my channel, there's a little shop section on YouTube. And if you're not a fan of YouTube, you can go to my website, www.brandywrestlemith.co.uk, and there's a little shop on there, and you can get my books, and you can get a crochet potato. There is one left. And you can get a notebook and a pillow, and you should check all that out. And that is my shill. Thank you for listening to my shill. I will be back on Sunday. Is it collab this week or next week? I'll be back on Sunday. I'm doing a collab. We're gonna play some Power World. We're actually gonna get to do Power World because the 1.0. And this is a plan to play Power World, and my fiance won't be playing it because he knows I'm going to be streaming it this time. Therefore, he won't be playing it. Ha 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 ha. And I'm low-key obsessed with it again. Yay! So I will be doing that next week. And then it'll be One Shot and Limbus for the rest of the week as per usual. But until then, I had fun. I hope you had fun. This has been Brandon Smith live in the Forbidden Library. Enjoy the reruns while I'm gone. Bye, everyone. Where's my buttons? There's my buttons. Goodbye.